William is absolutely right. Harry deserves to be looked down upon. At the coronation, the Duke of York already made the late Queen's funeral all about his and Meghan psychodrama. This time, the focus must be on the King. Hello, and a very warm welcome to LVT News Channel. Every time I hear some news about King Charles giving in to Harry again, I go from thinking that he's weak to conceding that maybe he is just a father who's doing all he can to get his wayward son back on his side to stop embarrassing the family and the country internationally. But what I do respect, absolutely, is the determination of the heir to the throne. Prince William to give short shrift to Harry, the Duke of Delusion, on his upcoming visit for the coronation. Harry is going to have to deal with his older brother's brutal science. There is not going to be any discussion of reconciliation between the brothers and definitely not the public or private apology that Harry and Meghan were demanding them until only a few weeks ago. So the strategy behind the frostiness from William, who Harry described as his arch-nemesis and spare, is twofold. Everybody can understand why William is still upset about Harry's behavior over the past 3 years, but especially since their late grandmother passed away just a few months ago. Meghan and Harry used their anti-Commonwealth Netflix series and the publication of that stupid book Spare to cause maximum damage to the monarchy during some of its most difficult. And that's before we even get to his anger that Meghan also used 2 big TV platforms to cast aspersions on his beloved gorgeous wife, Catherine, knowing good well that as a future queen, she couldn't conduct any kind of fighting back to reveal the truth. And really, William's feelings go far past any feelings of personal anger. He now feels the hands of history on his shoulders as the heir to the throne of the British monarchy. He understands that for the future of the monarchy, the coronation next month cannot be upstaged by the constant distractions that are being set up by Harry. William cannot understand why, but it seems like his selfish brother already managed to make the funerals of the late Queen and Prince Philip, not to mention the otherwise magnificent Platinum Jubilee. A lot about his and Meghan's relentless psychodrama causing so much stress to their older relatives. But not this go-around. William is convinced that the focus has to be solely on his father, as he has formerly been crowned King Charles III. Now, as tragic as all of this may seem, that does mean there is a real pure risk to agreeing to a simple conversation with Harry, even one that's comprised of only some pleasant small. That is because the trust between senior members of the royal family and Meghan and Harry is absolutely destroyed. They can no longer have meetings alone with either of them because they worry that information could be leaked to the American media with a negative or unfair spin to further damage the monarchy. Recently, it has become reality that Harry has no problem bypassing established U.S. media outlets to use their toxic family business to make more money for him. And Meghan, that really hit home with the shock and horror from royal courtiers at the disgusting decision by Harry to include some word-for-word quotations from the grief-stricken king immediately after his own father's funeral. And Harry only did that so that he could make his book a little more dramatic. Up to this point, during moments of family importance, William has tried his best to put his feelings to one side, at least in public. Notably, there was the tense appearance at Kensington Palace to unveil the statue of their late mother, Princess Diana. And then the public walk about the two couples did together outside of Windsor Castle, which supposedly Catherine described as one of the most difficult things she has ever had to do. According to a recent book by top royal author Robert Johnson. On each of these occasions, we understand why William feels like the goodwill has just been thrown back in his face while William is trying to make peace. Meghan and Harry are busy trying to create more headlines about the intense feud. And this time he is determined not to fall into the same trap again. It looks like the stakes are just too high. The decision for Meghan to stay back home in California, which I suspect is because of her innate fear of being booed by the British public, has at least made the scenario a bit easier to. Now, in the beginning, William and his team were scared that the presence of the former Hollywood mattress actress, along with Harry at the coronation, would provide a big distraction. with real concerns that the couple's time in London would upstage the king with public appearance.